Alexandria Wildasin here, and I am so excited to show you this wonderful property on Highland Park. It is literally seconds off of Highland Park. You would never know it's back here. You feel like you're in your own oasis. And I'm going to be walking you through this very special historic home and kind of giving you some tips, tricks, things that you really want to emphasize in this home because it does have a lot of character with that Tudor revival style, but some ways that you can make it fresh and really make it your own. So just looking at the house here, it's got actually contributing features for the Aiken Historic Registrar. So that means that it is not only a historic home, that it was built in the time period, built in the 1920s, but that it has characteristics in the house that actually give the character of the neighborhood. So they help kind of determine the Highland Park vibe, which is cool. So some of those are the arched doors. You can see the smaller banked windows over here, and then also that exterior woodwork. So something that's really fun with Tudors is playing up those details rather than trying to hide them. So something I would love to see would be to see the stucco color on the front lightened and brought up to a creamier kind of soft white. And then instead of the red trim color that we have here, painting it a little more of a nutty brown or even a green. But you do want to keep that trim color darker than the rest of the face to keep it within the historic kind of realm. So as we come on in here, you'll see you've got lots of greenery surrounding the house, which is really fun. And we come up here through this wonderful arched doorway. So as we step into the living room, you'll notice that there isn't necessarily a foyer. There's not a true entry. So something that I like to do in big spaces like this is to create one by adding a light fixture above the doorway here, and then by laying out the furniture to give you a false entry. So I would love to see a pair of love seats flanking the fireplace here, and to see this fireplace opened up so it would be more indicative of that Tudor style. It was made smaller in the 70s, I believe, but I'd love to see that big Tudor mantle brought back into the mix here to give you something to anchor the space. So you could have your two love seats here, small table, or even a pair of benches or stools here. That way you can move them around, get close to the fire. And then back here, you'll see these windows, which give you so much beautiful natural light in here. I would love to see these shutters taken off just to allow as much light as possible, taken down some of that greenery just to below the window so that you get as much light, and then drapery all the way up to the ceiling. And what that does is just lifts the eye up and really lets you feel the height of these ceilings, which are wonderful in here. So over here, you've got bookcases. You could actually put a television in one if you want to be able to watch TV in here, have this be a multi-use space. So you would have a sitting area here, a second sitting area here, and then backing up to this love seat, even a pair of comfortable chairs for watching television, but it's not just front and center on display. So as we move through this way, we'll come over into the dining room, which is a beautiful open space. Once again, what I love about this house is the windows. So I would like to take those shutters down, really brighten it up, give this a fresh coat of paint, or even this would be a fun place for wallpaper. So we would replace the light fixture in here, but I like the idea of keeping an oval table. You have such a gracious room here that you've got a lot of extra space to keep the server and to really focus on the details in the corners here by painting, and then I would love to wallpaper the backs. So as we move over into this really sweet breakfast nook, I would definitely keep the little banquette that we have here and highlight these windows with Roman shades above just to give you a little bit of texture. And the same that we have on the outside, I would love to see the stucco, which is a very indicative trait of Tudors, is that mix of stucco and wood detail. I would like to see this lightened up just to make this all a little brighter, less yellow, a little more white. So we move into the kitchen, which I love the idea of having this kitchen be a really warm, cozy area. This is actually a lot more similar to an English kitchen than it is to the American kitchens that we see regularly. Something that I would like to do in here though would be to replace the uppers with glass front cabinetry. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna lighten, because we have very high ceilings in here, but the dark cabinetry does make it feel a little looming. So you could easily take out these uppers, the fronts, replace them with glass cabinetry, even do a fun color on the lowers here. You could do a blue or a green, something just to give you a little pop in here. If you wanted to replace the floors, you could easily run wood through here, or if you like tile. But what I would like to focus on over here is these banked windows. Once again, we have wonderful windows all through this house, and that is part of the charm of Tudor's. So I would, once again, like to take these little shutters off to make it light, make it bright. And then I'd like to put light fixtures above the windows, maybe a little swing arm coming down just to give you some more light, and then to replace the light fixture in here with something a little airier and a little more contemporary would really spruce up this kitchen. It does have some really fun vintage appliances, so you could keep those. They are definitely functional, or you could obviously replace them, make room for a larger hood if you are someone who wants a nice big range. Here we have the side entrance to the kitchen, which gives you the opportunity to create a really great little mudroom, kind of a stopping over point for people that are coming in to casually use the home when you wouldn't necessarily use that front door. So we've got the washer and dryer in here now, but we have plenty of space to move them over into the butler's pantry and either stack them or have them side to side. So what would be really nice in here would actually be to do a built-in or find a cool antique wall tree. And that way you could have, muddy boots, umbrellas, extra coats, scarves, things you want to be able to grab to go outside, but have them all stored here and a nice place to stop and put your shoes on. And that would also give you access up to the attic, which has a giant attic space up there, that parts of it I think could be finished if you wanted to add square footage, but it has so much already that would be totally up to you. So you come right off of that beautiful living area and you come right in here to what I really see as being a master suite. So you have the option, you can either keep this one large room and have your own little sitting area, bedroom, you have your bathroom, or if you would like the idea of keeping sort of more of the den, which is how this area has been used in years past, you could easily add a wall here to separate and let this stay sort of your den library area with your sitting little coffee table, keep your television, and then have your master suite. And if you did that, you could easily move this out so that you have a little more space in what is already a very functional full bath here. And this would be an easy one. In smaller bathrooms like this, I do like to keep it really light, really bright. So we would replace this wallpaper and just really lighten it up in here to give you what feels more like a master. So then as you come out here, I would love to see a big canopy bed right here. You have this fabulous fireplace that still has more of that Tudor style mantle. So you'll see that shape really often in Tudor's. And then you look out at all of this greenery. You have a private porch that you could either keep private to go with the master, and this would sort of be your personal space, or if you would like, you could add another door over here to come from that living space and still have that accessible from the other members of your household. So that is totally up to you, but we will poke out here because this is just such a fabulous space. You can see you've got the stone floors here coming out to the wood, and you just feel like you're so secluded when you're at this house, which is something that's so fun, being walkable to downtown, walkable to the golf course, and still having it be so serene and so green is such a fun aspect that this house has that I would definitely play up in the design. All right, so as you come down this main hall, you come over towards this sort of separate wing of the other bedrooms, which is really nice. You've got a little privacy there with your new master, and we come into these really gracious rooms. So this would be a wonderful one. I love the wallpaper as is. This is that seagrass wallpaper that's so fun and just gives you a really nice texture. You've got a lot of natural light coming from outside. This would be a room that you could easily put a king in, make it a really gracious guest suite. Or if you have children, obviously they have it set up with twin beds. Both rooms are very, very comfortable layout-wise. You've got some options. You could do twins or kings. And then if you come in here, you've got this little sitting room, which is really sweet, and you could set up to watch television in. You could have it be a little office, and you get this beautiful sweeping view, which is so fun. I would love to see some drapery in here, once again going all the way up to the ceiling with maybe a really fun antique piece under it. Keep the little love seat and a coffee table in there and you're good to go. And then coming into the bathroom, once again you'll see these little Tudor windows. They're so sweet, and all of that trim work. But this bathroom layout wise is actually great. I would replace the vanity, bring it up a little bit more. And depending on how you're going to use this, I would add double sinks in here. So you could add a larger vanity, you have plenty of room, and then add larger mirrors in here. And that way you've got a little more usable space counter-wise. But you can see, I mean, you've got a full tub, and you could easily put in glass. I love the black clad glass showers. They just give it sort of an edge of modernity while keeping with sort of the more traditional feel that you have here. But they're very clean, very sleek. And the wallpaper is something that I just love in here. It is so sweet and really just gives character to the house. But to me, this bathroom, I mean, is easily livable as is, but with a few tweaks would be just wonderful. All right, so we come into one of the other bedrooms. This bedroom is so fun to me because you have all of this wonderful paneling in here. The wallpaper is actually in pretty good shape, so if you like that darker red color scheme, you could keep it. It's actually very sweet, or you could easily replace it with paint or with another wallpaper. But the nice thing about this room, as with the one we were just in, is that you have so much space in here that you could do twin beds on this wall, or you could actually do a king bed. And I would like to see the bed come over here. That way you're looking out of the window. You're getting all of that wonderful light. Once again, drapery. Would take the drapery all the way up to just below that trim there, and that's just going to give you that full expansion because you have really high ceilings all through the house. So playing them up just gives you more space, as well as taking out the shutters here just to bring in as much as possible. So another thing is replacing light fixtures in here. You've got these high ceilings, so you have room if you want to put chandeliers in. You can do some really fun lighting, and that's another way that you can kind of update, bring in a little more contemporary feel without fighting with the traditional bones that this house has. So in our final bedroom here, you have what I really see as a flex space. So if you need all of the bedrooms that this house has to offer, which converting that to the master really puts you up to 4 with lots of space. This, to me, if you need it as a bedroom, is a great space, totally usable, has wonderful storage here in the closets, 2 closets. Or this becomes kind of your informal den that maybe could be converted to additional guest bedroom if you need it to be used that way. It does have another full bath in here that has a good bit of space. I mean, could easily be updated. But to me, this becomes then more of the guest bath, what you would use if you were converting that master into the true master suite. So as you step out, there's a pair of these doors coming off of the living room, and you come out of these really sweet kind of sweeping steps. I would love to see this closed in to make a raised bed here. And we talked about a little earlier cutting this down just so that you have view of those windows, which are a really fun architectural detail, and then also give you extra light going into the living room. And we have so much outdoor space here that is really lovely. And as you walk around, you can see you still have this sweet little area that would be great for having parties, putting a little seating area in out here. to enjoy some of this beautiful weather, especially the weather we're having right now. As you walk up, you can see I am a total sucker for some mossy brick. So we've got all of this gorgeous brickwork, got the gate, and I just imagine having parties out here, putting little lights all the way down, maybe some candles to lead your guests in as we come around. So you can see this is that side entrance from the kitchen. Would be really sweet to get a little bench here. This will be more the owner's entrance, but just a really sweet, really fun house that I think has tons and tons of potential, and is just waiting for the right person to come and help it out a little.